Hey everybody, so today we are going to do a shoot together. As you can see on the screen right now, I am currently whipping through the selection process. This is basically in Lightroom, that's what I use to edit. I'm going through and I'm selecting all the photos that I think are good enough to go into the edit. So I basically do this by popping the caps lock on in Lightroom and then flicking through and pressing 1 and 0. 1 are the photos that I like, 0 are the photos that I'm like, nah, they can go. And I'm basically looking for ears forward, smiling faces, nice composition, nice light. Those are what I primarily look for. But sometimes, you've got to, if there's some pictures that are striking out and thinking, oh, they don't have those things, I will still use them, but perhaps take them and put them aside. And if they haven't got an ears forward, but the rest of the photo is lovely, then sometimes I will Photoshop some ears forward in. So on the screen at the moment, we have the very lovely Hannah and her gorgeous mare Millie. You guys will have seen Millie and Hannah about. They are my two go-to equine models, mainly because Hannah is gorgeous, as is Millie. They're super near to me and I love them both. They put up with the wackiest of ideas I come over with. The other day they were stood posing for my Christmas cards with some lovely wreaths on. So as you can see here, I'm flicking through, and at the end of the session of the culling part, I will basically go up to where it says filters off in the top right corner and put them on rated, which is what I'm doing now. Okay, so we're now moving into the edit. This is basically where the pictures come alive. Now, I will always start off with choosing my preset. As you can see on the left there, I've got ELP Autumn Orange, ELP Black and White, ELP Fashion Blogger 1, ELP Fashion Blogger 2. Now, these are basically the presets that I edit with. And that's how I keep a consistent style across all of my images. So, as you've seen on this image so far, I've gone in, I've cropped it, I have applied my preset, and I've basically selectively edited around. So at the moment, as you can see, I am drawing in on the background, and I'm basically darkening the background to then make Hannah and Millie as the subject stand out. As you can see though, sometimes you run the risk of what's called haloing when you do this, which is basically when there is like a faint outline around the subject from where you have lightened it, or you've darkened the background and the foreground is still lighter. So as you can see here, I have selected ELP Autumn Orange. It's basically a softer effect and a much warmer effect. I'm going in for the crop, and I was shooting on the side of the road, so I have gone in for a crop, which means that I don't need to see the road. So now I've gone back into the selective adjustment tool and I've selected one of the presets I have, which is basically for the horse. And this adds a lot of clarity, which basically is like, to me, it feels like the grit. I've upped the exposure and I'm also lifting the shadows. Part of my big editing style is lifting the shadows. So what I'm doing now is I'm erasing the mask off Hannah. When you add a lot of clarity, I don't find it very flattering on humans. So I only really tend to use it for horses in the background. So I'm now just erasing it off her, as I want her to be softer than Millie's looking. And this is an ideal time to use the red overlay so that I can ensure that I'm getting it all off her. Don't know what I'm doing here, flipping between Photoshop and Lightroom. So this is an image I've already edited, as you can see, and I'm just choosing my edit. I think I went for the Blogger Warm, but I've just brought the white balance down because that was just far too orange for me. I've moved on and I've decided upon this image. So the first thing I always do is I crop. I think it really helps to see the whole image rather than what the image will end up looking like at the end of the edit. And I've gone for the fashion blogger, which was the theme of this photo shoot. Well, it wasn't a theme, it's an editing style. Because the different editing styles can look different across different shoots. So now I am filling in the sky because I want to bring back some of the detail in the clouds. I've got a smaller brush, which anybody on a keyboard, if you, as like a shortcut, you can use the keys that are above enter. The, not brackets, what are these called? The square brackets, Flick them and they will increase and decrease your brush size. So I think at this point I've decided that I'm not actually that keen on this picture and I've binned it off. So a lot of the time when I choose to get rid of an image, it's not because I don't like the image, I think it's nice enough. It's probably because I've got stronger ones and I want to focus my time on those, and I don't want to let weaker images bring down the set, if that makes sense. So now we're going for a spicy black and white. I love a black and white. I don't tend to give them to clients because they're very subjective, I think. Colour, you can't go wrong. So I've probably binned the other picture off as well. It probably wasn't working just as I wanted it to. So I'm now back to another similar image of Millie, and I am lightening her dapples, same as I did before. This is a technique I use in the majority of my photo shoots, this selective editing. As you can see what a difference it makes. But one thing to note is that you need to zoom out to see how the whole image looks before you decide that's enough. Okay, this image is looking pretty spicy. I've gone for a 1x1. That's not straight. Well done, Evie. That's much better. And I'm going in for the blogger as well. And I've lifted those shadows. And I think I binned that one off as well. Even in this voiceover, I'm looking at it thinking, Evie, what are you doing? Stop editing that, you loser. That's not a good picture. So what I'm doing now is I am using an amazing tool, which is basically gives you the option to copy all of your settings across multiple pictures. So as you can see here, the lighting and all of that are all very similar across these images. So what I've done is I've edited one and I have copied them across to the other images. And this is basically just a small setting called sync settings, and it will make your life so much easier. Okay, we are back to the grind, back to double speed editing. God, if only it were this quick in real life. So I've added on fashion blogger as the preset. I've changed the white balance, I've warmed it up because we have amazing tones coming through the sky and we want to emphasise them. I decided that I didn't like that picture. Ooh, that is spicy, that warm one. So I've gone for the cool option, lifted my shadows to bring the detail up within Hannah and Millie, gone for a lovely 1x1 crop because realistically we didn't need the stuff on the outside, The main point of this image is Hannah smiling at Millie. Oh God, I love this picture. Straighten it up. I am a wonky shooter. Cannot be helped. That's it. We're going for a nice cool. We're going to brighten it. It's going to take that clarity down and we're going to lift the shadows, Let's see the lovely expression on Hannah's face. So again, I'm doing the trick. I'm choosing my pictures and I'm going to sync the settings because this is saving me time, and time is money, as they say. So now they've got a consistent edit across all of the pictures. Oh, Millie, she's putting a bit of a gurning face there, isn't she? Why am I still editing this? Evie! I think I'm editing this because it makes me laugh. I've just updated the exposure on it. And right now I've probably gone for a little TikTok break in that little gap. So the light's changed again. We've just turned direction. So it needs to have a new set of settings. So I've added in my blogger preset, I've warmed it up, I've added a touch of clarity, and I've lifted the blacks and my contrast. I really like that. I really love those pictures of Hannah and Millie. They're lovely. The light had just dropped and we'd got this warm, flattering glow. There's no harsh shadows. It's very nice. So then once I've synced the settings, I then go in and tweak each image individually. So within this, I don't think anything needs to be done to that. It's very nice as it is. I like the composition. I've gone in, I've lightened Millie's face a touch. That's it, bringing all that up so she stands out a little bit more. Lovely job. Lovely job, Evie. That's it. Play with the settings. See, I don't do this in any particular order. It's just a case of bing, bang, bong, whack it up, see what happens. If it's too much, we drop it down again. That is the beauty of Lightroom. So I've gone through these, synced those settings again because the other ones were a little bit dark. And at the moment, I'm just flicking between the two, thinking which ones do I like the most. I deemed them all as nice. Love that one. Love that one of Hannah and Millie. I think Hannah really likes that one as well. Okie dokie. Moving on. I think I took a quick TikTok break during that. So now I'm again going through the presets. I really like on Lightroom that you can see the preview of the preset up on the histogram on the left hand side there. That really helps me. And I'm having a little scroll through. Again, doing a little sync settings. This trick just saves me hours in editing. Okay, so I'm now flicking through and thinking, how can I get creative with this? It is, after all, a creative photo shoot. Didn't want Hannah's hand in it, I just wanted this portrait of Millie. Oh, isn't she beautiful? And that sun was amazing. So I'm basically wanting to bring out the sun, so therefore the highlights are really low. Oh, I didn't do anything else on that apparently, just moved on. Okay, so this shot as well, again, there was no need for the extra space on the right hand side. So I'm just cropping it out. You know, sometimes look, I've gone, oh, I don't know if I like that or not. I think I didn't in the end. I couldn't get it to work visually with the crop. So I just ditched it. Now this one I love, and I was just there checking to make sure it was sharp on the eye. And now I've upped the exposure a little bit, and job's a good un. Didn't like that one. Do I like that one? Oh, she's gone for a different edit. No, I don't like it in the end. Oh, this one I do like, though. Look how lovely they are. Look at her little smile. Now, there was something in there that was irritating me. Probably a fly of some sort. Look, that didn't do a very good job, did it? Oh, it was a dust spot. That's it. So I've whacked the dust spot out. That looks good to me. Lifted the exposure a little bit because it's a little bit dark, and that's all I wanted to do. A lot of the time when you use these presets, there's no need to do anything else. So, as well as a reminder, sometimes when you layer presets, they will add one on top of the other. So there I went back to the import settings, which is just the raw file, and then added a preset so they weren't layered. Oh, what a lovely picture. These look like they're on a safari somewhere, don't they? So I'm doing the same now, and I decided I prefer the look of the image, so I have done all of the settings again. Don't they look lovely? I really love these. And now we're moving into some headshots, which were for my ebook, so I didn't edit these at this point because they weren't going to Hannah, so they're a job for another day. Don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I set the rating to something different, so that I didn't have to look at them now, I think. And then I changed it so it's just the pictures from the shoot. Gosh, this doesn't half make me look like I know what I'm doing within Lightroom. I definitely don't. So I'm picking up on any pictures that I've missed, and I've done a little sync. Although they look fairly bright from here. That's it. Whack the exposure down, Evie. Get that colour back in the sky, because that's really the reason of the shoot. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. And I've got some more of these images at the side of the road to edit. So again, I've gone in for the crop because I don't like to see the road in the picture. I like just that little bit of foreground. It's more than enough for me. I have a feeling I would have done something else to this because I don't think that's quite enough. Warmed it up. That's it. Bring out those like warmish tones in the sky. Done a cheeky synchronised settings and gone back into the pictures. And actually, I think this is one of my favourite pictures from this shoot. And they're all a little bit dark. So I've gone through and I've basically culled the ones that I don't like. However, this for me was the one. Mainly because of the birds in the sky, which I'd already edited, so I'm whizzing through that. I like this one as well. I love how Hannah's looking at Millie and Millie is looking pretty chilled. So I'm just going to brighten her up using the selective adjustment brush. Making sure I get all of her lifting the shadows. And that's all that was really needed. Love this shot. Love that we can see a little bit more of the sky in this, because in the previous one we couldn't. So again, going back into the adjustment brush, making sure she's all covered. Lift the shadows. And yeah, that's all I want to do. Probably won't use that one. Impressed if I did, because it's got an ear back. That's it, Evie. Just lift the shadows. Honestly, I do anything like this, then I get to the end and I'm like, oh, actually, I don't like it. See, sometimes it can be a bit repetitive with the editing system, but I found using this selection tool to be such a game changer with my edits, because, you know, like, there's so many components to this picture. You know, you've got the grass, you've got the sky, you've got the horse, you've got the person, and it's not going to be a one size fits all in this case, because cameras physically can't see light and dark. So here I've gone for a really dramatic sky. Don't know what I'm doing here. Lighting the horse. Lovely, lovely, jubbly. This probably been a really cool shoot to have some studio lights on, actually. Lovely job, Evie. And that's, yeah, my favourite picture. Just playing with the edit, see whether I want to do anything different. I like that one as well because Hannah's actually kissing Millie. Yeah, nice. Doing the old filling in of the hoss. Lovely, lovely. Oh, a nice little closer one. That is screaming for a 1x1 crop. Lift the shadows up. Oh, not the shadow, sorry, the exposure. Put my preset on it. Warm it up. Add a little bit of vibrance. Oh, she's feeling cheeky. In the end, I got rid of that one because the sky looked too bright and unnatural. So now we're on to the pictures that are back at the yard. And I love these shots, really love them. See, I've edited it all, then decided I don't like it. So I've synced all the settings across these ones because they'll all be quite similar. And then I basically go through. That to me, I reckon, will be cropped. Or maybe it won't, maybe I'll leave it. Yeah, 1x1. Very nice. It's normally just a play out as to whether the negative space is worth it or not. This shot probably, although it's a nice shot, probably wouldn't keep it. I didn't because the ears were just too near the top of the picture. So here I've just culling some down before I go into the edit of them. I've got similars, duplicates, flicking between which one I prefer. And that, I don't like to have too much foreground on the bottom of my pictures. I like the subject to be at the bottom. But compositionally, this isn't a great image because that horizon line will be halfway through the picture. So as you can see, I set the rating to 0 because I was like, I don't know if I like that one enough. So that's nice. Millie's head cuts through the horizon. So this image will be the same as the others that have the road in it. Crop the road out. And I really like this picture. I like the pose. I like how Millie stood. She stood square on, which is nice. I've updated the pictures, which are a little bit darker. Flicking between the two to decide which one I like. Got rid of one of them. Love this one of Hannah and Millie sitting. And I think I decided that we don't need the outside elements to it. So gone in and cropped it. And that is an entire shoot done from start to finish. Now I just do a batch export and upload these onto the gallery. Thank you very much for watching that little editing video that I've put together. I love doing stuff like this. So if you want more behind the scenes of edits and stuff, just give me a holler and I'll definitely do them for you. I'm shooting a couple times a month at the moment, so there's always content to be created there. So thank you very much for watching. Leave a little comment below if you'd like, and I will see you in the next video.